Hello again everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now today we are exploring Shropshire and the ghost of a forgotten Roman city that was once the fourth largest city in Roman Britain. Known to us today as Wroxeter, to the Romans it was Viroconium Cornoviorum. Before the Romans arrived, the area around Wroxeter was ruled by the Cornovii tribe, which they ruled from their hill fort at Wroxeter. But when the Romans turned up, they relocated the capital of the Cornovii to modern-day Wroxeter. Now the name Viroconium is actually a Latinisation of the Britannic name for the site, which means place of the man-wolf, which is probably in relation to some tribal chief. Now the full name Viroconium Cornoviorum is saying the Viroconium of the Cornovii. In the early days of the conquest of Britain, Wroxeter acted as a military outpost, being manned by Thracian auxiliaries during the campaigns of Publius Scapula. Now it was strategically placed at the end of Watling Street that ran all the way from Wroxeter down to Dover. It was also strategically placed for defending Roman Britain from Wales, and it also defended the River Severn corridor. In time, however, the 14th Legion Gemina took over the running of the fort, expanding it in size into a huge military fortress, ready for the invasion of Wales. But they too were replaced by the 20th Legion Valeria Victrix. By the late 1st century, the army had moved on, and the civilian settlement that had grown around the fort started transforming the place into a Roman town. Interestingly, evidence has been found that they turned the military bathhouse into the basis of the Forum, in a very similar way to what happened in Exeter after the 2nd Legion Augusta had moved on. In the 120s AD, the Forum was completed, with a dedication stone to Hadrian being dated to 130 AD. Now under Hadrian, the city flourished, becoming a proper Roman urban centre. At its height, Viroconium housed over 15,000 people, making it the fourth biggest city in Roman Britain, a remarkable feat for a frontier town, with its position next to Wales probably helping with its trade, its resources and its influence. Somewhere between 165 and 185 AD, a huge fire ripped through the centre of the city, destroying the Forum and nearby shops and houses. But Viroconium wasn't gone. The Forum was rebuilt with a new design, and life carried on, as it always does. When Roman authority collapsed in the early 5th century, Viroconium didn't disappear. It continued to be an important political and religious centre, perhaps even having its own bishop. Town life continued well into the 5th and 6th centuries AD, but at a much smaller scale, and one of the best things we found there is the Wroxeter stone, which was found in 1967, and it has an inscription on it that is very, very interesting. It has a mix of Latin and primitive Irish, and dates from around 460 to 475 AD, at a time when Irish raiders were starting to settle in Wales. Interestingly, in the 6th century AD, Viroconium seems to have had a bit of a renaissance, with 30 new timber buildings being built using Roman measurements, showing that Roman ideas weren't lost, but were evolving. However, by the early 8th century, Viroconium was abandoned, probably due to some form of plague, as there's even a traditional tale that says that Shrewsbury was founded by refugees fleeing a plague in Wroxeter. But whatever the truth, the city was abandoned, and the Roman city fell into obscurity. You could still go and see parts of Viroconium today, with the most prominent thing there being the Old Work, which is a piece of wall from the Roman bathhouse that's meant to be the largest freestanding piece of Roman masonry in Britain. Now, other parts of Viroconium were used in the nearby churches, and there's a wealth of things to go and see in the museum on the site, including a magnificent recreation of a Roman villa. Now, Viroconium may not be as prominent as Londinium or Aquisulis or Iberacum, but it's nonetheless very, very interesting, and if you haven't gone, make sure you do so. But thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, it helps immensely, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.